two-point night. Turnaround, the fade, Jordan-esque. 6, oh, the crossover, Edwards, A1 from day one.
Looking for Edwards, finally gets it to him. Edwards launches, no, and Denver survives.
Now this is what Jerry West saw when he made that big trade for Kobe Bryant. Look at this play. He's been the heart of this resurgence. Gets a big jumper there.
5 seconds left. 4. Bryant drives. Pull up. Shot on the way. No good. Cross-court left. Open. Kobe Bryant for 3. Another airball. Bryant for 3. It's Jordan in 7 seconds. Here's a three-pointer. Airball again. It's over. It's over.
What if I were to tell you that in front of our very eyes, Anthony Edwards just proved that he was on the path to true greatness? That when looking at his performance against the #1 seed Denver Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs, we can find clear evidence to believe that if there is one man to bet on in the NBA in terms of the game's youngest stars, we should be betting it all on Anthony Edwards. So what's up guys, Mike here, and with Anthony Edwards we also have talent, a lot of talent, because when we look into Anthony Edwards' 2023 regular season, we find that he has already put himself among the game's greats with a historic third year on paper, as after averaging over 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game at the age of 21, Ant threw himself into a group that includes 4 of the best names you can possibly see. Tracy McGrady still had a Hall of Fame career despite the injuries that held him back. Luka Doncic is currently considered the player most likely to actually enter a GOAT type race, as in his first 4 seasons in the league, he has had 3 first-team All-NBA appearances. And then we have the actual GOAT race in LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Anthony Edwards' name is on this list. That is how historic he was this season. We should be giving him a lot more respect, because also there are 2 more factors in play. 1, Anthony Edwards was tremendously better in the second half of this season, and number 2, Anthony Edwards raised his game in the playoffs in a way that only true "give me the ball with the game on the line and get out of the way" superstars do. In his first playoff season last year, Ant raised his regular season scoring average by around 4 points per game, and this season the difference was around 7 more points per game from a player who is in his 3rd season. Keep in mind, this was a very big season for Anthony Edwards competitive wise. In his first 2 seasons, Anthony Edwards watched as LaMelo Ball brought his Hornets to a play-in game, while also LaMelo was an NBA All-Star. Headed into year 3, it was known this was bugging Ant, which meant first we got the All-Star game. First we got that incredible moment with LeBron James, where Ant was drafted #1 by him. And then Ant showed when it truly mattered. Under the bright lights of the NBA playoffs, Anthony Edwards in year 3 again stands among NBA royalty, as he became just one of 2 20-year-olds in NBA history to average at least 20 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds per game in the playoffs. The only other player being Luka Doncic. This would be a small sample size if we couldn't move on to this year, where in terms of 21-year-olds, we have just 4 who have ever averaged at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in the playoffs. And this time, Michael Jordan's name is left off of this list. That is how incredible Anthony Edwards has been so far this season, which to me raises even more questions. We can certainly agree that we have seen this model before in young stars who became legends. By the way, if you did not know, I have a new channel where I'm posting 3 times a week. And also on that new channel, we are doing the biggest giveaway I have ever done. We're just gonna roll the giveaway right now. To celebrate the launch of Coors Light, we are giving away a VIP experience to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Plane tickets, a room, incredible seats. It is all included for Game 4 of the NBA Finals for 1 lucky person who is subscribed to Coors Light. The winner will be picked on June 1st. All you have to do to enter is subscribe and turn on post notifications for Coors Light. Good luck. I cannot wait to pick the winner. This is going to be incredible. We've watched hyped up prospects such as a young Kobe Bryant, a young Steph Curry, a young Kevin Durant come into the league, rise up in large moments, and then continue to prove others wrong as more and more haters emerge. So I want to know, is there more evidence here that Anthony Edwards is a true superstar in the making? And that is where we come to a combination of 2 things: natural talent and the drive to become not only great, but the absolute best. The natural talent with Ant is very apparent. we see that Ant not only has been blessed with incredible athleticism, but that also his skill set includes a growing basketball IQ with a huge desire to win. Nobody would accuse Anthony Edwards of going out there and doing anything other than trying to win basketball games, and we just saw how powerful that can be in the game's biggest playoff moments. Ant's natural talent was on full display this series against the Denver Nuggets, where he clearly decided that if the Wolves were going to win a basketball game, just one, the ball was going to need to be in his hands. In the regular season, Ant averaged 20 shots a game, and he proved after a tough game 1 that in games 2 through 5, he was only willing to let it fly more. You love to see that. Ant was putting up seemingly impossibly difficult shots and knocking them down, again against a top-seeded Denver Nuggets team, where he was going directly against an NBA playoff vet in Jamal Murray, who, on his own end, Jamal Murray has a huge chip on his shoulder and is looking for something to prove. However, it was Ant who led this entire playoff series in points per game, and in the final 4 games of this series, Ant averaged 35 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 5 assists per game on almost 50% shooting. In those 4 games, the undermanned Timberwolves took 1 game and lost the other 3 by a combined 21 points. If Anthony Edwards does not rise up against the Denver Nuggets, the Wolves would have gotten embarrassed out there. But not everyone has Anthony Edwards' ability, and not everyone has the Kobe Bryant desire to succeed. A big statement, I know. But speaking of Kobe, Ant has been compared to him, and he has been outpacing Kobe. With all respect on Kobe's name, the numbers just don't lie here. At 19 years old, Ant has better stats. At 20 years old, same thing, and the same thing at 21. The only difference being, of course, that Kobe was playing on the Lakers with Shaq, and when Kobe was 21, he was winning an NBA championship. What we saw in a young Kobe, though, was a competitive fire and a need to not only be the best, but a need to win. And again, the stats do not lie here. Every single season since he has entered the NBA, Anthony Edwards has gotten tremendously better. What's more, it has also become very apparent that Anthony Edwards is that type of young star who is not here at all for the fame or the money. All that is probably very nice still, but Ant is here to prove that he is the best. He's already been coming at NBA vets who are sitting when 80% healthy.
If there's anything I could change about the league to make it better, probably just all the guys sitting resting. Just play, man. If you 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff.
That is the kind of mentality that Ant has, and we can see that mentality in this story. As when running through a pre-draft workout with the Warriors, who at the time held the number 2 pick, Anthony Edwards had this exchange with Steve Kerr. In Ant's own words, "I couldn't do it. I'm too tired. I'm like, man, this shit too much. But I'm not saying it, so I'm just jogging." And after the workout, Steve comes to me like, "You can't go any faster?" I'm like, "I thought I was going pretty fast." He was like, "Nah, do it again." So I did it again. I'm going fast. I'm going fast. He stops me and like, "You can't go faster than that. If we're going to draft you at number 2, you gotta be a hard worker. Like, you ain't working hard enough." And I think that was a stumble in the road for me. And I looked at it like, I called my trainer afterwards and was like, "Hey bro, we gotta change it. We gotta change it up." Steve Kerr told me how Steph and KD used to work out super hard. Ever since then is when I felt like I took the next step. This is a story from the team that did not pass on Anthony Edwards, and he's looking back with a chip on his shoulder like, how dare you not draft me? The Warriors never got a chance to draft Anthony Edwards. He went number 1, but still, he respected the words of a Hall of Fame coach, and the fear that he was not doing enough to reach his absolute ceiling as a player drove him to immediately call his trainer and say that they needed to be working way harder. That is who Anthony Edwards is. He is also someone that learned that it was a league-wide fact that Ant does not perform on the second game of a back-to-back. And so, after looking at the stats and seeing there was no denying that this was a fact, Ant took this info to his trainer, he adjusted his schedule, and has begun to perform much, much better in those second games. That is the mindset Anthony Edwards is working with on top of the talent and desire. That is the mindset Anthony Edwards is working with on top of his natural ability. That is the mindset that has me believing that he is the game's next biggest star. There we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed making a video on a player I really believe is going to be one of the brightest young stars we are going to be watching next year and for years to come. He won't always be a young star. He will get older, but I believe that Anthony Edwards really is going to be one of the faces of the NBA. So thank you for watching this video. If you're already subscribed, thank you for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and cue that Music. If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. I mean, personally, I think the one on the left might be more your style, but the one on the right looks pretty awesome too. Click one, let me know what you think, and again, have an awesome day.